We're here Radio Row in Los Angeles. Baltimore Ravens star cornerback Marlon Humphrey. Marlon, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Happy to be at Radio Row for the first time, so excited about that.
Probably would have rather been playing in the game.
Yes, for sure, rather be playing, but this does a okay alternative.
What is the transition like from okay, we're done, season's over, and now I need to get ready for the next season, but I want to recharge. What is that process like for you?
So for me, it's rest. It's like, for a little bit of time there doing nothing but a little abs and some stretching, and just enjoying life. I think so many football guys they try to do football year round, and mentally that's not good for anybody in any sort of sport, hobby, whatever they're doing, job, to just think about work all the time. So for me, it's getting away. I got some land in Alabama, go outside, fish, hike, all those jazz. So just doing a lot of things that just completely take my mind off the game.
You don't need to eat, breathe, sleep football year round.
Yes, I do not need to do that. I used to always break it up with track in high school and a little bit in college, so it always gave me a break. And of course, I don't run track anymore, but now I just kind of just get away from it.
This is kind of a weird question, but why 41?
44.
Or 44. I'm so sorry.
So my dad wore 44 in the NFL, and I always had this dream of, whether the idea was when I either left the Ravens or signed an extension with the Ravens, I would change my number. And so it's something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to rock 44. And so I saw the opportunity with Earl coming on the team. I was like, this is a great time to do it. So I did it.
And you feel good about it?
I feel good about it. I had a lot of hate from the guys, from people that were like, bro, when you have a bad year in that 44, you're going to regret it. I'm like, bro, the number don't mean nothing but a thing. You know what I mean? So it was excited to actually wear a number that, meant something to me.
People, I think, from the outside like to ascribe a lot to the number. And,
yes.
And when people started being able to wear the single digits, then it was like, okay, this is going to save this person's career because now they can wear 2 instead of, whatever the other silly number is. Do you have any superstitions like that, though? I got to wear these socks.
I don't have any superstitions. I used to wear – I went on this crazy streak of wearing some underwear under my, pads. And I had, a crazy year, but – I still got them in my bag. Sometimes I throw them on, sometimes I don't. But no crazy superstitions. I think I don't know. I think things just happen as they happen. But no superstitions here.
All right, I have to ask you about Ja'Marr Chase because he's playing this week, and he had a big game against you early in the regular season. When you're in that game, and you have a big matchup like that. Is there how do you stay in the fight when you feel like, okay, this guy's getting me a little bit?
I mean, for me, that's the reality of it is that's going to happen. Playing my position, but the biggest thing is just keep battling. Just keep. You can't stop or anything. I think it's funny because even when you take a loss, you can kind of be like, oh, I got an interception, but that was a rough one to even celebrate an interception that I got in that game. I gave up a lot, but it happens. I think, and he's a great player. I think, and kind of what this craziest thing about him, which I've said a couple times, is when you look at him on tape, it's like he's not doing anything. It just looks like he's not doing anything, but he's somehow catching this 50-yard pass, he's scoring this touchdown. You're like, well, the crap, he's not doing anything. And so then you play him, you're like, yo, I got this guy. And then actually, he's got 200 yards. And I'm like, crap, I don't have this guy right now. So he does some great things, I think, that a lot of people can't really tell on film until you've really guarded him. And his strength, his balance, the connection with having, your college quarterback, it's like they're in sync at a very early stage of both of their careers. Joe Burrow's second. So it's some great things with Ja'Marr Chase, and along with Boyd and T. Higgins, all the guys they have. I think they're a great trio of receivers.
What can you tell me about the game plan against Davante Adams? Because I have not seen since Randy Moss a receiver handled the way that Baltimore and you guys treated Davante.
So I actually was. After I got hurt, I took my get away from football a little early. Mm-hmm. So. When I saw what was going on with him, I still don't even know the game plan, but I saw the clips like everybody else. For 4 weeks, or when I was completely not talking to anybody, was out, I felt like such a fan. So I'm like, any news I'm getting, I'm seeing online or something.
Right.
And like, I wasn't like, so I'm like, what the crap were we doing? And so it looked like, we want to eliminate the best guy. Guarding Devontae, he's a guy that he's just crazy quick. He has the ability to, get to one place or another just so quickly. But he's by far one of the best at the line of scrimmage. I think head and shoulders over anybody in the league. And so we just tried to eliminate him. And, it almost worked pretty well. I think we ended up losing by a point, going for two. But, he's a great player. I think we felt that. Actually, I can't even speak on what we felt, but I'm sure we felt that, if we were going to win, our best chance was to eliminate him.
Who is the guy you mentioned watching someone like Jamar Chase and going, he's not even doing anything, and then obviously on the field he's doing a lot. Who are some of the guys that you watch and you go, man, this guy, whether it's the release package, the route stem, whatever it is, you're like, okay, this guy's got it.
So for me, the guys that you're like, crap, you just go crazy on film would be Justin Jefferson. I've guarded him just once. Devontae Adams, just like Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans. All those guys, like you can stick one thing that they're for sure doing that you're just like, crap, this is going to be a tough matchup. Those are just off the top of my head, but it's weird. You got those guys that like this is what they do well, this is what they do well, and then you got the guys like Jamar Chase. You're like, I don't know what he's doing well, but he's doing something great. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just crazy. I mean, it was crazy. It's just so many different types of receivers, and I think the biggest thing that everyone does is they try to, whatever they're really good at, that's what they try to be good at. I think at a certain point you get to NFL, you're like, I got here because I have an elite ability to do this.
Right.
So that's what you try to. How sharp can I get that craft? I know for me, thing I'm good at is being really physical. So how sharp can I be at being really, really physical? And I think honing in on what you're really great at and trying to get better at the things you're just good at, I think is kind of the key. And a lot of guys show it week in and week out in the NFL. So it makes, I think the step from a good player in the league to a great player is such a small margin of error. And the thing I love about football is got to be earned every year. So, you hear guys that are like, I'm great, but it's got to be proven every year.
It's a small margin, but it's the hardest jump to make.
It's the hardest jump, and every guy wants to do that, make that leap. I remember when I got a chance to go against Odell, they told me I was going to follow him, I think it was my second or third year. I was like, I feel like this is a chance that I can show that I'm great. So the great guys are always being chased. That's the best thing about the NFL. Every year it's a new person that can be the best corner, the best quarterback in the game, the best wide receiver in the game, and that's kind of what the good ones are always chasing every day.
So the part about trying to amplify your strengths when you go into off-season training, like whenever you start that again, are you trying to say, okay, this is what I'm weak at, I'm trying to get better, or is it this is what I'm great at, let me perfect this thing?
For me, man, I didn't have, before I got hurt, I wasn't having the year I wanted to have. Mm-hmm. So for me, I've already thought about a lot of different things that I'm going to do, but for me, it's something I've never done before. I'm just going to completely start back at the very beginning from the first step I take in my press, from the stance I'm in when I'm doing press, from the stance I'm going to be in from backpedaling. I'm really going to hone in on like the literally smallest minor details, which I've never really done before. I usually just kind of start where I start, but I'm gonna really try to reset everything and kind of figure out what I can do, what I can improve, get with my coach and kind of figure it all out. But I'm really excited to get back to training. But this injury it's good because it's slowing me down from really trying to get to work too soon.
All right, last thing, we've got a game full of receivers.
Yes.
Who are tough.
Yes.
So I'm going to see if you'll answer this, and I'm not sure if you will. Of the guys in this game, who would you be like, okay, that's the challenge that I most want to take on? I'm not going to ask you who's the best. Who's the challenge you most want to take on?
Challenge that I most want to take on?
Because you're talking about I want to measure myself against the best. You want to be great.
Well, I guess I'll see the Bengals twice in the division. So it would of course be Chase. He's probably the hottest receiver out right now.
But Cooper Kupp might be the best.
Cooper Kupp might be the best. I mean, the thing about Kupp is he's one of those guys that's like, he's kind of like, on film, like, what the crap is he doing too?
Yeah.
He's wide open all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's I could play wide receiver. I was wide open all the time. I mean, he runs. He knows how to beat zones. He knows how to beat man cover. He just attacks leverage. It's crazy that he had one of the best seasons ever, and he's just wide open. I don't know I haven't really analyzed what he's doing, but it's almost crazy how someone can be that wide open all the time like that. And then Odell, like, I think he's just too crazy, high-powered. Van Jefferson, both sides of wide receivers, and I think crap. I mean, it'd probably go in that order. It'd be Chase, Cup, Odell, Boyd, or Higgins, Boyd. It's all over the place.
It's a loaded game.
It's a loaded game. I know the Bengals tight end got hurt. That would have really helped their chances as well. But it's a very loaded game in the skill department.